So the therapy. I know, right?
So we have planned more.
That's what she had.
All right. Almost. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Lucy Robbins Wells Library Board of Trustees meeting for Monday, April 13th. We'll get started with the roll call. We do have people online and remote, so bear with us. I'll have Elizabeth start the roll call.
George Bernardo, Melissa Hazley,
She's here. She's here.
Jason Hitt,
Wasn't the common board.
David Corrigan,
Here.
Pam Canary,
Here.
Colleen Krupp,
Here.
Leanne Mankey,
Here.
Joanne Massey,
Here.
David Nagel,
Here.
Maureen O'Connor Lyons,
There's
She's
her
remote.
She's online. Yes, she's online.
Chris Riley,
Here.
Christine Shushin,
Here.
Diane Stam,
Here.
Lisa Maston,
Here.
Jennifer Hebert, here, Sheila Rowell,
Here.
Kelly DeHaas, and AJ Piniaco.
Here.
Thank you. Public participation. I don't see anybody in the room and there's nobody online, correct? Okay. So we'll move into town council liaison positions. Any information or news to share?
Hello, everyone. Let's see. So working on the budget. So I think tomorrow we're having, Connecticut Health District come down to give us a presentation. We're getting a presentation from the assessor's office tomorrow about, the implications of phasing in the reevaluation, of the home values. So that'll be interesting. Other than that, we're gonna send some stuff to the name nominating committee there. And then it's mostly just budget. We're almost at the tail end of it, so it's been proved to be one of the more different ones out of the past three that I've gone through, so, yeah.
Anybody have questions? No? All right. Thank you. Secretary's report. George unfortunately is not feeling well and he's got some kind of respiratory thing. So he said there was no report, no secretary's report this evening. And some of his communication committee stuff will be covered by Chris in their joint meetings. So no questions for George. With that, I'll move into approval of the minutes. Any corrections or updates?
I have a few this time. On page 6 under facility and site, it said the meeting scheduled for March 14th. It was for new, not all board members.
New.
Yeah, new. Yeah, I think it had all listed.
Okay.
And then on the same page, Bill Rogers' name is misspelled.
It's ROD.
GER. It was spelled on another page, correct, so I just. Let me just see here. And I think for the communications committee, we were asking, but not including, we were including information about Bill Rogers, but not necessarily interviewing him for the social media, so I just want to make sure that that came out clear. So, I think we might have been using other footage and some other stuff that we had and everything, but I don't think that we were physically interviewing. No, not that I'm aware. And then finally on page 7 for the Hanel concert, I just wanted to make it clear because they talked about the workshop starting at 6 and the concert starting at 7 with doors opening at 6:30, and it was all like one line versus saying the workshop on the 6th and the concert on the 10th. I just want to separate a little bit.
2-day event.
Yeah. And that was it.
Great. Thank you. Any other comments or corrections? No, that's online? No. Okay. So I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes as amended. So moved. So Melissa and Leanne, do I have a second among one of you? Okay,
go second. Take your pick.
secretary's choice. And who goes first and who seconds? All those in favor of accepting the minutes as amended? Say aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Aye.
Approval. Okay, so that was the approval of the minutes, review of the annual activities committee. 5K race is going on. We know we just had our race meeting. The book sale, we know, is happening in April, and I'm sure Sheila will give us some more information on that at the end of April. National Library, is that coming up next week? So that's, busy as that comes here. And I know that our, it says here, investment committee quarterly report, and I know that, we've got a mention of that coming up, when we hit the investment committees, from that end. One of the other things that's on there is, staff appreciation that's been moving around on the calendar. We are still in the process of trying to figure some things out based on availability and pricing and what's going on there. Some more follow later on that, but that's what's up on the, activity committee or activity report. Treasurer's report, me and me.
All right, I sent it out last week along with the investment reports. Jason, I sent them because Jason was having computer issues. All have been there, so I get it. Under our fully accessible accounts, we have in our restricted funds, general fund accounting is $82,907.92. That has increased since end of March 31st because we received a couple of more sponsorships, including Saputo. So those monies are in the coffers. TD money market restricted funds is at $57,336.88. The non-investment, the unrestricted funds with Kingston is currently at and remember the market is down. March was not the best month. $451,116.49. The unrestricted and restricted investment account is at $465,712.59. The Hanel endowment currently stands at $465,251.90. I have not taken out the pocket vinyl. I'll wait till the finals are set and then we'll transfer that over. The Churchill door is scheduled to begin work May 1. So we'll be expending the balance of those monies. We're still waiting to find out if we've received any grants, and we have an inquiry into the town as to whether the town can help us fund some of it too, but the first half has already been paid. The Hooker Trust Endowment currently stands at $408,873.93, still well above the baseline. And we have received confirmation under request that we've been notified of. The Ann Marino Living Trust has named library, as well as Library Inc. as a beneficiary. The paperwork is in process at this point. We don't know the exact final dollars. It is a substantial amount of money from what we understand from conversations from the attorney, and it is unrestricted. So we will have a better idea about that. Certainly, I'm very grateful for her thinking of us. And I will keep you informed. Jason will keep you informed as we get that investment through. And that's what I have.
Great. Thank you. Any questions for Leanne? No? All right, thank you. Next up, library director's report, Lisa Maston.
The study carrels that were supposed to be delivered on March 20th, will now be delivered on April 20th. And 21st, so, you have the temporary tables and power strips set up for people to sit down and use until the actual study carrels come. The parking lot project that you all see up there is started last Thursday, and they're anticipating a 2-week project to, they're adding crushed rock, I saw it today, and then they repave. So, staff is being asked to park at the town hall or the police parking lot, while this is going on. Joanne Sestouli, who we hired as the new full-time digital services librarian, started on March 28th, and she's been trained for the reference desk, and now she's going to start training with Jen to learn all about the library technology, because she's gonna be like one of the go-to people when there's a problem. And she's also doing social media for the library as well. Passport to Connecticut Libraries, is a program that happens every other year. And it began on April 1st, it runs through the end of April. People can pick up passports at participating libraries, I think there's well over 160 this year. And, the point is to get you to go visit all the libraries throughout the state. Every time you go into one of these libraries, you get your passport stamped. You get a free gift, it gives you a chance to look around and see what other libraries are doing. At the end of the month, you turn in your passport and you're eligible to win a prize, and there's 3 prizes for adults and 3 for children. So this is pretty much a statewide event that's going on, and every day you see people coming in. with
What
their
do we have,
passports.
169 towns, and it's 160
No, but-
libraries?
No, but they have branches,
Oh,
that's
branches,
good, yeah,
okay.
so that's why there's more than, yeah.
I like my math better.
At the same time, the library started, a program called Take a Duck, Leave a Duck. And we have lots of little rubber ducks of all different occupations, throughout the library, and people are welcome to come and take one. Or they can swap if they have some and they want to swap one. And it's really meant to like kind of be a kindness thing, brighten someone's day. If you want to take a duck and give it to somebody else or take it for yourself. Michelle went to several senior living facilities last week with ducks. And they were all very happy. They hit every single room at Jefferson House and left ducks for people. So we're also gonna be doing some duck related programs. They're gonna bedazzle ducks, coming up very soon. Let's see, I didn't have it on my list, but we're getting a guinea pig. A pregnant guinea pig is coming soon. And, so kids can see.
So more than one.
Well, yes, soon to be. I guess it's like 3 weeks once you receive the guinea pig. And, so she's coming and the kids get to visit it and encourage the kids to come, and eventually she'll have her little babies and they'll get to see that too. So this is a new, they asked us to be one of the test libraries for
To
this.
be the
program.
guinea pig for the guinea pig.
Give me a name.
Does that make us guinea pigs?
We don't have a name yet, we don't know what her name is yet. But this is the same, farm that does the, chicks every year. And I think we told you that there was an unfortunate fire at the farm. We were supposed to get the guinea pig like about 6 weeks ago, but that one died in the fire, so this is, yeah, I know, it was really bad. National Library Week, as Diane said, is next week. It's kind of celebrating libraries and all that we do. What we do, we have some programs, that are gonna be going on, but we also will have a lot, like flyers out that talk about all the different services we do, and we're gonna be posting on social media. If you happen to visit us during the week, we have a free gift that we're gonna give out to people. So, that's all of next week. Let's see. The Anita Wilson concert, the Anita Wilson Memorial Family Concert was held on March 20th, and Banana Band was the band. Ben and Anna, and Anna was a singer, Ben played his guitar, and it was for families. We had about almost 100 people. And, very, very inclusive, they wanted all type, families of, there were kids that had like disabilities or things like that, but we had all types of families, and Jen and I were like, we've never been to a children's concert. Well, I should have been with my daughter. I was a bad mom, but. Surprised it was only 45 minutes, which we're like, really? And then you realize the kids were at their limit after 45 minutes, but, they were playing instruments, they were shaking bells, they were dancing, they were singing bubbles, parents too. So it was very fun, and, we got a really, really nice, some really nice feedback from families asking us to have them back. So that was really nice. And then, our little free library is open and we had a grand opening ribbon cutting ceremony. And it's emptied out quite a few times now, so just trying to keep it full. I think I mentioned that I was doing on this 250th anniversary committee. And they have a concert coming up on May 2nd, I think, it's gonna be a Navy band, one of the US Naval Navy bands. It's at Mill Pond on May 2nd at night. And there'll be other things that, we'll be doing. Children's has some programs coming up. I just booked a couple programs for, someone's actually gonna talk about the actual wording of the Declaration of Independence. Which sounds really interesting, actually, so, and he's also going to talk about, kind of like more about the background of the musical 1776 and Hamilton and things like that in a separate program. And then we'll have a few others as well. And I think that is all that I have to tell you. That's enough.
Any questions for Lisa?
I don't have a question, but I think I mentioned this during our video meeting as well, as that I've been following this guy on social media who apparently is doing the passport program and posts pictures from all the libraries that it's up to like 50, 55 or so by now. And I just saw today that he's at least coming closer because I saw Rocky Hill and I saw Glastonbury in there. Because I commented to him and I said, hey, Ray Newington has a really nice library. So he may, I don't know, he might stop in his journey that he's been documenting.
Great. Any other questions or comments for Lisa? No. Moving on to the Assistant Director's report.
Won't go too much into Halo because it's starting the agenda, but good attendance, great attendance, better than we thought. The comic book was 14 people, mostly teenagers, so that was really good to see. And that was a really good program. And then the concert itself, I was standing right by the door, counting as I come in, and we had 55. So we'll take it. Pages, 2 pages started recently. Last 2 weeks, they're trained, they're getting started, they're being released to start paging in the stacks. And then the last one, his name is Charles, he plays baseball, and so he will start in May once his baseball season finishes. So that'll be good. Another part-time news, the open part-time position in children's will be filled by Lori Bougie. She will start April 28th. So it's Lori, and then the last name is Buggee. So actually Lori tested and interviewed last year when the position was open. That position then was filled by Joanna Sestuli. And then now with Joanna moving to the full-time digital services librarian, that position was opened up again. So we were able to go back to Lori and say, hey, are you still interested in? And she said, yes. So right in there, no interviews, no testing, great. And then last thing, just to reiterate about, we're getting a new information library system, how patrons look up books, catalog things, records, all that kind of stuff. So that new system is coming in June. We're starting to ramp up on the training session for staff. Whether it's in-person training, there's webinars, there's videos, manuals that we're going through. We're practicing when we're on the desk. Like whatever we do with the old system, we then see if we can replicate it in the new, practice. So we're working on that. The LCI mobile app that you would use on your phone to maybe check your account, look up books, put things on hold. That old app stopped working on April 7th. It should not have been a surprise. We've been sending out emails. People who have been using it have been notified. But we still got calls on April 8th saying, what happened? Where is it? And they're right now.
Cover for that is always, I don't think I got that email.
But when we were sending out the information about it was going to be going away, We're asking people to take a picture of their library card number so that you can use that for the scan. At least, it wasn't worth buying a new app between the old and the new system. So between April 8th and June, there will be no dedicated app. They can still check their account online, like just by going on Google, that's fine. But there's no dedicated app. That new app is coming in June. Information will transfer over. It should be seamless. We shall see. And we'll go from there.
The one thing I wanted to add too is I think it's the week between Memorial Day,
Yep.
and June 3rd.
Yep.
Our system is down completely. So we have a backup system, but we can't issue new cards. We can't take holds on books, things like that during that week's period. Because we can't really access the information. So.
But you can still do standard in and outs and that.
We can
kind of
check,
circulation.
we can do just checking in and checking out. And even you'll have access to the online catalog. However, it's not gonna necessarily be accurate. We would have to double check to make sure we actually have the item in the library. And they're gonna really shut down, like interlibrary loans from, discourage you from, requesting, and actually, we're gonna request if people get something, if they can return it to the library, if they got it from a certain library, return it there if possible, because the delivery is gonna be off too. So.
Any questions for Jen? Any questions online? See any?
No.
Thank you. Next up is Friends of the Library, Sheila Rawl.
Well, our next event is the next week.
I know, thank God.
It did come fast, yeah. Book sale, we have, this time, we have another big load of craft supplies, they're unusual craft supplies. It's not like the last one we had that was mostly quilting stuff. This is like a bin full of zippers, and a bin full of zippers. We tried to sell those to the local tailor, he wouldn't buy them. But we tried. A bin full of spools of thread. Every color you can imagine, so, it's gonna be interesting selling those. And there are some templates for quilting and that sort of stuff in there too as well. We've had a couple of big bone book donations recently. We have a lot of puzzles. We have a lot of 33 and a third vinyl. We all checked and it's all, and I guess people are starting to look for that again, hopefully. And we have a lot of old comic books, old original comic books that have been bagged and boarded, and I understand that's something that they're supposed to be. So I think we probably have almost 200 of those. But, we try to call around and see which ones are, so, I don't think they're of great value, but, I think they're a great, probably interest value. So that's what we're working on.
Super. And you need a lot of help on Sunday?
Yes. We need help on Sunday afternoon, the late afternoon, that's the takedown.
Like 2:00 on?
2 o'clock on, yeah. When we start breaking things down and, taking everything back across the
And
street.
usually we have, scouts help us, but
Right.
we don't have the
We don't
scouts
have
are away.
scouts, that's there.
Yeah,
So they're not away, they're back, but I'm told that after they come back from their weekend in the forest,
Very humanized.
yeah,
Peter told me he'll probably be there, but you might get the adults more than you're gonna get the kids. The kids are gonna come home and crash.
yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
told, so we're not counting on them at all. But they will be there on Thursday.
So if anybody's available to help show up on Sunday.
It can be a little later too.
Yeah.
Like
3:00.
3:30.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah,
What are the hours on,
it goes till 3.
it goes to 3, so
Yeah.
3:00.
So then,
Yeah.
when we try to start breaking down a little, and a lot of the issue is just cutting the boxes up.
Yeah.
And dealing with that issue, that we don't like the little kids doing anyway, so
Right. Okay, good.
everybody's welcome. You get ice cream.
Ooh. Did you hear that ice cream, folks? All right, any questions for Sheila? Okay. Committee reports. Budget, Leanne, nothing to report at this point?
Just waiting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, then, next up would be PEP, planning, evaluation, and policy, Maureen. You're still on mute. There you go.
There you are.
I don't have a report, but I'm going to try and schedule a meeting before we, end for the summer.
Okay. Technically, you can have committee meetings all summer long. That makes me popular. All right, thank you. Is investment committee, Jason, Chip?
Nothing to report right now, I'm just waiting to see what happens. Like Leanne ended up mentioning, so.
But you met Dean, you're all
Met Dean.
signed in, you have all your credentials for access online?
No, I met Dean, the credential part is, I haven't received any kind of emails just yet. For like, logging in through the web or anything like that, so, I could reach out to him and see what the story is. So, once I get those credentials, then I can probably meet with Leanne offline and she can give me a quick tutorial, so.
Great, last I'm aware of, when I was speaking to Dean on another matter, he said that the paperwork has gone through because it's basically getting everything you sent in and getting enrolled.
Okay,
And then we'll be able to get you connected.
yeah, I mean, remember we had our own meeting
So
together and
good.
I did sign up
Yeah.
on all that, so, okay.
Great. Thank you. Post committee, Diane, what would you need? So the Churchill Door, you heard from Leanne during the budgets, they're gonna start working on that May 1st. We already have a deposit in and we're still hoping that there may be some grant money that comes in, but we had to commit to fix the whole thing, as that goes through. I did notice, when I was out in the parking lot, that our shed looks like it's a little, banged up from snow removal, where you have the corner piece
It's gonna
on the
haul
front and
it
the back.
back and replace the pieces.
Yeah, for that to go through. The rest of it looks good. We should probably reach out, maybe Carolyn can, put a work order in or something, just reminding them that our race is May 17th.
Mhm.
So if they wanna do the cleanup and stuff, because there's so many people between the two buildings and everything, and for my little plot of land, I know spring comes fast, and then before I know it, it's like, oh, maybe I'll do that next week, and then I was like, I should have done that 2 weeks ago. So, with the timing, with the weather, all of that, if, the town is just aware of it, cause it's, don't have the most people just hanging around here. So it would be nice if we all look nice. And that's, I really don't have anything else new for, house. We are still in process with some of the curtains that Leanne and the town is working on. When you have an older building, it takes a little bit longer for, getting the piece parts and, sometimes you have to hold your breath when you take something down. To make sure that not only those pieces go where they need to go, but that the walls behind it and stuff are good. So they're working through some of that. I would say the next, anybody has anything specific for house for me?
I just wanted to thank Chris for his company's donation of the 2 large file cabinets. We have them in
I forgot
downstairs.
about that.
Yeah, Chris and Diane and I had an adventure. We got them in and down to the basement, never to leave the basement.
But they're really good.
They're in good shape and now we have a little more space for some of our stuff, which means, we can take some of them perhaps out of people's
Leanne and I
basements.
drove to Chris's company who was donating it. Chris met us outside. Then we had some of the facilities guys from where you were and Chris and stuff, they loaded it into our SUVs. And then we drove it here. And then Leanne drove it from the parking lot to the downstairs basement. And I just kept saying, watch it, watch it, watch it. Watch it, watch it. Wait,
She
wait,
was
wait, watch it, watch
staring
it.
at me. It was a bad thing. I had the thing, it was as tall as I was. And I'm going, okay, I can't see, left, right, whatever, we're on an elevator, oh, it was exciting.
Well,
I left.
Yeah, you also didn't mention that at the facilities that the one of the cabinets locked itself and they couldn't
Oh,
find
yeah.
the key for
Yeah, so they
it.
had to drill it out. It was a big.
But-
That little 20-minute job took longer.
That's all right,
Everybody
now
knows.
we can move some of our records into the actual physical location rather than my basement or other people's
With the trunk of
basements.
the car. Yeah, so yeah, sorry, I blocked that out somewhere.
You're welcome to clear it out. As I said, I think my company had about 20 total to give away and everything, and we only took 2 and the rest all went too, so I mean.
Oh, wow.
People just took them all.
That's all right, I got my cardio in that day.
And we still have every one of our fingers.
Yes.
Okay. So next up is facility and site with Christopher Riley.
Yeah, and I'll probably combine a little bit with communications.
Communications,
for
of
George
course.
as well, so. On March 19th, we had our monthly grant meeting. Some of the topics we discussed were like naming conventions, potential sponsorships that are there, various fundraising options. Just kind of continuing to try to look for all the avenues that we could potentially go after, especially as we continue to try to move forward, towards an eventual library expansion. On March 26th, we had the LARC meeting. We confirmed the date that we're going to be presenting to town council. It's gonna be on Tuesday, April 28th.
Did you talk to the town manager about that?
But I talked to
About the date? You have to.
Oh, we put it in the, Lauren was gonna put it in.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that. Just double check.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I can double check on that. My understanding, as I said, that was the date I think Lauren had provided, and so that was what we went forward with, but we could find.
We
So,
wanna make sure that it gets officially placed in there.
yeah,
Since we're having, especially since we're having the architects attend.
yeah. So I'll double check with them, just to be sure that that was the date that we were providing.
Yep, that's fine.
So, in preparation for that, we were working on slides, with, input from facilities, LARC members, facility site communication members, the architect, various sources, just trying to, I'll say, get the best presentation with the updates for the town council in that case. On April 6th, we had a joint facility and site communication meeting. We were at the meeting, it was kind of a special meeting because we actually had the architects there who had developed the conceptual design with us on. So we reviewed the presentation that we were planning, the update presentation we were planning to give the town, Lark's plan to give the town council. And there was a lot of focus on the focus of these slides were going to be, basically showing, okay, the maintenance and work orders, kind of showing that history that we have at the library. Transition plan, cost estimates, options, that was one of the big things that town council had asked for. As well as comparables, just to show how we line up with other similar projects. And there's been, out of that meeting, there were some follow-up questions as we update, so I know I've been working on updating, sending it back out to various committee members. And also followed up on some of the questions that came out of that meeting. And then for the communication side, that's what I would George do, but we've had 2 meetings since the last board meeting. We had one on March 10th and on April 2nd. The focus for the videos was focused on services that the community may not be aware of. One example is the food bank. I know Lisa, you had mentioned to me that we put something up and then there's people putting, dropping off stuff right at the library when I came for the concert the other day. We want to emphasize saving some money by using the library, because that's another thing. Right now, everyone's very cost conscious. So to be able to show, I know when I come into the library and I get my little receipt for checking out the books, it tells me, oh, you saved this much money and everything, because I didn't buy the books, I took them out of the library. We also want to kind of highlight, the limited space that we have for friends, the areas that, we're limited to here, as well as interlibrary loans. Just the amount of space that we have to store the books, as well as get books ready to be shipped back out, so. We also wanted to focus on the small teen area, figuring out the best way to word it so that, it's it's still positive about the teen area, but also emphasizing that, they do need more space. Library things, there's quite a few things that have been added to that. Obviously, with more space, we can, do more stuff. We're gonna promote more of the 5K race. I know, I've been seeing a lot more of the posts and everything, especially highlighting, Bill Rogers, being there at the event. And one of the things that we talked about, in addition to all this internet stuff that we were doing, is, possibly looking into like radio, public service announcements, so to supplement what we've been doing on social media. There's a lot of local radio personalities around, that we could reach out to see if they would be able to talk. I mentioned during the race, I said, maybe I could reach out, when I reach out to Mark, and I could just kind of see if he would be willing to say some various things on his stations that he reports on. So. That was basically it. There is another video meeting, tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, I think that's the next day. So if anyone wants to join, help support and everything. I know, Maureen has typically, been there, trying to think, other than that, I don't think I have anything more to.
So I know Michelle Patno, is the library person that you see with the iPad trying to take pictures of what's going on at these different events to help publicize and stuff. Up to and including the, call it musical chairs, but it's really musical shelving as we push it all around with, the different wheels and stuff that we have. But, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, Chris is pretty busy. He's got his finger in every pot trying to keep it moving forward, which is probably the biggest challenge that we have on our board, is not to get sidelined, for different things, and to just keep putting one foot in front of the other with some of these projects, because it's easy to get discouraged with different things that are going on in the economy or some of the other places, and things sometimes get put on the back burner. So kudos for keeping things moving and having meetings, and, because it is hard, when you drop it, it's hard to pick it back up again. That's the worst of 15 years of dropping the projects. It's almost like you have to start over if you don't keep some kind of forward momentum, so.
Goes along with our phasing considerations. It's difficult to do too many phases, because then you have to restart every time, so.
Right. Okay, any, questions for Chris on communications or facility insight? Okay, thank you.
George or
Go ahead,
George
Lauren.
or Chris, this is Maureen. The link for tomorrow's meeting?
I know that it seems like it gets,
I think it's gonna come out tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning, Maureen.
Pardon me?
Are you looking for the link?
Yes.
Yes, that it should come out tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, okay. Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't see it in my
Got it.
email, so,
yeah, I'll make sure you get it.
yeah,
And then-
I'm on the distribution.
Right.
Anything.
Yep.
And then the one other thing I was gonna say about, facility and site, also known as, LARC. When LARC, the Library Additions and Renovations Committee, presents to town council, it's really for the newer members. The board, presents to LARC, or, is involved with LARC with our board representatives, who happen to be Chris, Riley, and Leanne. And then LARC presents to town council. As many of us that can be there or be aware or look online and just see what's happening, what's going on, what some of the questions are, not only from town council, but remember the town will also be listening in and hearing and getting feedback and stuff. So it's very helpful if you can, save the date or mark the date. It's Tuesday, 4/28. We don't usually know where we are on the, schedule, but usually town council, the town manager is nice when you have people like architects and stuff standing by to put you early on in the agenda. Maybe not the first, but early on, so that they're not hanging out until
Yeah,
9
and-
o'clock
and-
waiting.
yeah, when I was requesting dates, I also tried to request as early. Cause I also know our presentation may only be 15 minutes, but it could be followed by like an hour of questions, depending on how it goes, so.
Right.
But it sounds like I should confirm with, the town manager just to be sure that it's got, as I said, Lauren put out the date and gave it to me, so that's why I was.
I would just double check.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah, cause I
Chris,
think
do we
she,
have do we have a time for that?
I don't have a time yet for that, as I said, when they publish the agenda, we can see where we fall out on it, we can figure out when the town council meeting starts, but as far as when I actually present. So when I contact back the town manager, I'll try to get a sense of that as well.
AJ,
Okay.
it's usually 7.
The meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
usually they're saying the Pledge of Allegiance at 7 o'clock and then it's whatever's on the agenda after that. So,
Okay.
you know, so definitely we'll be checking the agenda and maybe once the agenda is published, we can send it out to the board, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and, you know, they're Zoom meetings as well, so you could be there in person, or remote, whatever works best for your schedule. I always like to, have folks see the library faces in the audience. I think it makes a difference. You don't have to stay for the whole meeting just because you're in for the parts that you're interested in. As that goes through.
I have one question. You mentioned before the one voice concept, which I get. Would board members be allowed or encouraged to speak during the public portion?
Interesting question. So,
I understand the one voice thing. I get that.
so Lark is presenting. And Lark would answer questions from town council. The library board could certainly speak in support of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, how would we,
trying to remember
That
how.
would fall under public participation.
Right.
right, you would have to present under public participation.
The question is, would it be encouraged or discouraged? That's the question.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So I think positive communication is always encouraged. A positive message, positive support for what's going on. So I would say positive communication is encouraged. If you want.
Now, when they do the public participation, should they talk as a resident versus board? Because I know we've talked about this before,
Yes.
yeah.
Right, so, even though you're on the board. And if you've ever seen me speak at some of the public participation, so. The one voice comment that Dave mentioned is that usually when the board is making a statement, we have one spokesperson. It has traditionally been the president, but it could be anybody that is, you know, elected or suggested. If there's, you know, Chris is on facility and site, he might be the best person to say something, or George is in communications, he might be the best person to say something. If it was, you know, investments, it might be Jason, but, that's the one voice. So as a board, we elect one person to represent and say what the board is feeling as a whole. However, as a resident of this town, you can speak at any time. When I say positive communications, I think it speaks well to the board if we're being positive about things. I'm not expecting anything that's antagonistic. This is informational. It goes through. But if you wanted to say, hi, my name's Diane Stam. I'm speaking as a resident. And 104 Steeplechase Drive, right? This is where, and these are my thoughts or comments on this. You know, that works. I'm in favor, I'm not in favor. I had a recent tour. I can't believe, you know, what happens or what goes on with that. You know, what the friends do in the space that they have and, you know, what that goes through. Friends are also invited to, you know, show up or talk. But again, positive inflection, that's what we're hoping for. I don't see any reason for us, if we have serious issues, I think we need to discuss it as a board and figure out what's happening. But if you'd like to, weigh in for your impressions or what's happening, then that works.
Next.
But you identify yourself, as a resident, you can say that you're on the board. I laugh because one of the recent times, I think at the budget meeting, I spoke and, wasn't about the library board. It was just me and what I was saying for that. But it's kind of funny because I really felt like I wanted to underline, speaking as me. Right, because so many times over the last couple of years, I've spoken as the voice of the board.
But on the flip side, you really, you can say, you know, Leanne Maggie. From a resident's point, and then you say, and I also want to advise, I'm on the board, or I'm serving on LARC.
Yeah, had a recent,
Because people do come back and say, well, you know, there's like some kind of ulterior motive, and it's not that, this is what I am, full disclosure.
my thought was, had a recent tour and realized the need. And
That's
that's
perfect,
simple.
that's perfect. You know,
Yeah, to share those experiences. And of course, public participation is limited to 4 minutes, I think it is now. And they have a session in the beginning and they have a session in the end. If you speak in the beginning, you can also speak at the end. If you speak at the beginning and the end, it could be a long night. Those are my words.
I've been there, done that.
Guilty, I've spoken in the beginning and the end. As that goes through. Thank you for asking for clarification on that. So again, the presentation by LARC to, town council is Tuesday, April 28th, unless we hear differently. Okay. Fund development. So Joanne, you had said that you were interested in that, so we're gonna start clawing you in, bringing you in. And sharing, some more information with you. We talked about the Legacy Society and the things that are on the website. Nicely, Anna had gone through and worked with our investment, person, Dean Spotted, to make sure that the things that are posted on the website are still complete and accurate, because tax laws always change. So, that's really the up to, we had talked about some of the legacy flyers and things like that go on, so. You get your tour tomorrow, right? And as that goes through, we'll just start rolling in and trying to get that back up to speed for what's happening. And then we can also bring her in when there's been legacy donations. And the key part of that is many times we don't know that anybody's mentioned the library. And we also don't know what the timeline is for that donation, because it's usually an end of life kind of donation, or even it's an end of a trust that's gone through, a couple of generations in the family as the hooker, the quest came, so. Anyways, we'll do that.
it might not be a bad idea, Joanne, if you want to come to the next investment committee so you can connect with Dean.
Sure.
In terms of when we have him out, we usually meet with him every quarter. And that would be a good way for you to connect so that you're developing that, checking on the information on the website.
Thank you. And nominations, nothing at this time, right, Maureen? I'm just gonna,
Yeah, no report.
okay. And communications was kind of given by Chris Riley. We got that update because George is out. And we'll move into old business. So we all know that we have our 5K road race on Sunday, May 17th. Saying that more for anybody that's listening than for us. We should have all that engraved in our calendars right now. One of the things that we do is a Saturday packet pickup. So we'll have our t-shirts and the bibs for people that have registered early. So if they want to come by on Saturday and get their bib and get everything else in their t-shirts, usually somebody in the first 200 are who come through, or people will come in and sign up at that point because they don't want to deal with it Sunday morning, race morning, right? So we usually have a little, tent, a little overhead thing set up with a couple of volunteers. We do it in shifts, 9:30 to 11, 11 to 1, and 12 to 2:30. The pickup is from 10 to 2. But we need people to help set up and get organized a little bit before, and then help, break things down and go back other than that. So,
Diane, this is Maureen. I'll do 9:30 to 11 again.
okay, thank you.
Yep.
And we like to have 2 people minimum. You can get 3 people. Sometimes it gets crowded under there.
I'll join Maureen. This is Pam.
You'll join Maureen?
Yeah.
Okay, Pam. I'll do one of the shifts. 11 to 1, 12 to 2:30.
Whatever is left over. It doesn't matter.
I have 2 shifts left over. 2 openings each, don't be shy, anybody else want? 11 to 1?
Yeah, I'll do that too, because we have to do the, little readers. College graduation. I can't.
Okay, so I have Maureen and Pam at 9:30 to 11, I have Pauline and Christine for 11 to 1, and from 12 to 2:30.
I'll do it.
Takers, Dave and Joanne, okay. Okay, great. And I always like to say that I'll be there too, but I really won't be there. I'll be hanging banners and running around like a chicken with their head cut off. But I'll be around if there's questions and, whatever's happening, I'll help set up and help do that. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate that.
I
For the
have-
newbies,
Wait, can I
Yes.
ask Dave a question?
yes, you may.
Dave, who's your contact for Mohawk Northeast? Because they're entitled to a banner, so I want to send them an email.
It's me.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
s-
you
I'm
can
still
get your
employed- I'm
banner
still
here by the
employed.
beginning of May, okay?
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's, you pretty much sit down, you check people in on, packet pickup day. If they were eligible for a T-shirt, you give them a T-shirt, you give them their bib number, some safety pins if they wanna put that on and, you know. Thanks for signing up, let's hope the weather's good, that kind of stuff. And then we sometimes have people that will come by and say, oh, I saw the sign, I wanna sign up. Okay, so we'll have that information there for you.
We move inside if it's raining, just see.
Yeah, we move in here if the weather is really nasty. Okay, so that's the packet pickup. Anything else for the race that we didn't cover in the race meeting that I should bring up at this point? I'm looking at all the veterans here to keep me honest.
I guess I just, a question regarding the, distribution as a dining partner.
Thank you.
things.
So, we also have the dining partner, thank yous, is that? On a separate thing? No. Yeah, that's on a separate thing,
Okay.
but, I'll talk about a second. Okay, staff appreciation dinner, Maureen, do you wanna talk?
Yes, I do.
There you go.
I had great conversations with the manager at Marketplace. The Marketplace was one of the suggestions that the staff spoke to. Unfortunately, we can't have the event there because on a Friday and a Saturday, they have a required minimum that is non-negotiable of $4,500. So in our discussions and with, the type of food and venue items that I was choosing, it came to well under 3,000. So if we chose to go there, we'd essentially be paying $2,000 for nothing except the room. So unfortunately, we can't go there. I consulted with Diane, and it was a, fiduciary decision. But they were very nice, and it was an interesting options. So back to plan, B, C, D, etc. I have reached out to the Rooster restaurant in Newington. I haven't heard from them. I went online and searched like restaurants in Newington, banquet facilities, etc. And this one popped up. It's called First Love. It's an event space. So I sent him an email. The owner got back to me post haste, and she was very nice. They provide the space. They'll do, the decorating, etc., etc. And they don't do the food prep there. They have caterers that they use. So she and I discussed. I said, look, I don't want to get involved with dealing with a caterer. And she's, the decision was if we decided to go with them and they would take care of everything. So she was very nice. They're in Newington. They're on the corner, if I'm correct, of Main and the Turnpike, like in that plaza on the other side of McDonald's.
Turnpike Pizza is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of Robin's.
Yeah,
East
Pardon me?
Robin's, not me.
Yeah.
It's where the eyeglass place is.
Yeah.
Right.
You're on the turnpike.
Anyway, she was very nice, and she's gonna put something together for me. Knowing the caterers, I explained the type of function and the type of food that we would like. So I'm waiting to hear from her, and I just spoke with her today. That's all this extra stuff just happened today, because really our decision not to go at the marketplace was made on over the weekend.
We're locked into Friday, Saturday.
So we're
Pardon me?
locked into Friday nights. Sorry,
Okay.
there was a question on, we're locked into Fridays. And we are, it's staff appreciation for the staff.
Mhm.
And that's the only night the staff gets out at 5 o'clock. So, yeah, we're kind of locked into that.
Yeah. And we would prefer to do something locally. There aren't that many options in Newington.
By the lanes, that's where there's.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Yeah.
In the meantime, when I
Lanes,
was
there's
looking at
golf
this
First.
first
Yeah,
love,
Maureen, I just.
Maureen, there's some discussion going around the table that you can't hear.
Maureen, I just wanted to let you know because, well, I had the family bereavement event to arrange. And I've talked to a lot of the folks in town. Elaine's was a place that could potentially help us. I mean, that's Weathersfield, Newington line, so it's not technically Newington, but it is literally right over the thing. Marketplace was another place, but again, they had the commitment. Wooden Tap, we ended up with. Casa Mia, which is on Indian Hill. It's another place, again, they have some openings. Obviously, I didn't go out that far, but that's another possibility, and their pricing was comparable. So, I don't know if you have any choices there too.
well, I was going to reach out to Mia. I actually am waiting to hear from Elaine's, because when I was looking at First Love and I sent an email requesting their information, apparently it's on some connected to something else, Eventive or something. So Elaine's got an email from me, and so I am waiting to hear from them. They have a private room, and it is, even though it's Weathersfield, it's a spit away,
Should be close enough, right?
you know.
So you have to have 40 people to use their private room.
You're paying for
Elaine's requires,
Like you could have 30 and you pay for the extra two.
Yeah.
And you can have
Elaine's
a
requires
buffet.
40, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so cross them
But
out.
it's not like you have to pay an extra fee or anything, you just pay
Yeah, well,
per meal.
and because we're looking at, I've been discussing 35 with the places.
Okay. So you
And
can go,
I will,
you have
I
the-
into the
Amazon.
Casa Mia, at Indian Hill, and that would, they have that when you walk into the country club, there's a room on the right, which would be,
Now, the Metacomet room would accommodate it.
Parking's terrible though.
That's true.
pardon me?
Yeah. Parking
Terrible.
is a hassle there.
Parking is
I'm
a hassle.
sorry, what did you say?
Parking at, Casa
Oh,
Mia
parking is,
can
I
be
know, I know.
challenging for folks. And just for newer people on the board, the reason we've got this, so the Friday night is because of staff's hours, and staying local to Newington is because that was the staff's request. Right, so we have gone farther afield at different times, depends on the mixture of who's on staff and what they want to do, but it is, think of it as a mixer. Am I aging myself? But you know, it's staff and board members hanging out and getting to know each other, so
If,
I think
if we
after
could,
the
if for some reason we decided on Casa Mia, I wonder if they or the club would be amenable to providing, you know, golf cart shuttle or,
well, we could drive the golf cart.
I love it.
anyway,
sure.
more to come. It's a work in progress at this point. I'm still shooting for a June 5th date. This is the date that I've thrown out. Um,
And again, that was a
Actually-
date that staff felt they were available. It's the
actually,
beginning of
June
May date.
5th, First Love does not have June 5th available.
Okay, all right, so
Um,
more to come on that. I certainly appreciate all the calls and the investigative work. you're
More
doing
to
here.
come. We will have a dinner, an event. If we have to have it on the front lawn, you know, we'll do something.
We have a meeting, a staff meeting Wednesday, if I could throw it out again to see if anyone.
If you can throw it out again,
Let them know in marketplace that's not happening.
yeah, well, just what we've run up against, you know, we're
Yeah,
certainly
no, of
investigating, we
course.
wanna do that. Some of the things we're running up against, how do they feel about wooden tap? How do they feel about, you know, lanes and stuff? Realizing that we have a limited selection, there's, you know,
Unless we go.
there's only so many
Unless we
things
go
that go in
farther.
that Venn diagram of in-town Friday night,
Right.
you know.
And I
All
did
that.
not reach out to Wooden Tap. Only because, you know, it's hackneyed at this point with us, but if the staff says that would be fine, well, we can go back to them.
We'll bring them back into, right, they've always treated us very well. We were just trying to do something a little different.
Right. And when
Okay.
I was speaking to Leanne about the pricing at Marketplace, Leanne said that the prices at Wooden Tap have increased as
Well,
well.
everything's gone substantially.
Yeah, I think things increased.
But-
There,
You know,
there's.
it'll
there's
get
some
done.
costs.
Okay, thanks, Maureen. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate the work you're doing for that. Gonna move on if there's no more questions or comments.
Excuse me, one more thing. Lisa, when is your staff meeting?
Wednesday, this Wednesday.
Okay, let me, I have notes elsewhere of the dates that First Love is not available, so I'll give you the ones that they are. And-
Okay,
Okay, all right.
super, thank you. Okay, next up is the Hamel event. So, you had heard maybe a little earlier that, Pocket Vinyl was here on Monday, the 6th for the workshop and April 10th for the concert. Went off really well. Chris won the silent auction and has the acrylic painted. It was fascinating to watch her make that, as it was
It was a fun.
going on.
It was.
I didn't make it to the Monday event, but, he said it was great, people were engaged. And then, you know, it's a different type of thing, and we still had 50 people at the concert on, Friday night.
If I'd like to add to that and everything, after the concert, I did send a thank you email to Eric, and I just want to kind of read. I sent him an email saying, I want to thank you and Elizabeth for coming to Newington, Connecticut, to our own Lucy Robin Wells Library to share your knowledge on comic book creation with artists and to provide much needed entertainment to our patrons. The workshop was a big success from all who I talked to. The way you and Elizabeth encouraged fellow artists as they develop their own styles was wonderful to see. I also received many thanks from people who attended your concert for having you here. I know I thoroughly enjoyed your music. The stories told through your songs reached inside me to bring emotions to the surface, made one of the better nights I've had in a while. I also loved hearing the graphic novel brought to vivid life through your storytelling between songs. Elizabeth is such an amazing artist, and I cannot wait for the paint to finish drying so I can find a perfect spot for it in my house. Right now, my pantry smells like oil painting, so.
Really?
Yeah.
That takes a
Yeah.
while to dry.
So it's so beautiful how she comes up with the ideas and completes the vision in the hour or so of the concert. I hope you enjoyed our library, and I'd like to keep in touch for a potential return visit in the years to come. And so he responded and he said, Christopher, it's a true honor and blast coming to perform and do the workshop. We had so much fun, all caps, ourselves, and really enjoyed working with everyone there. They were all so kind and generous with their time, conversation, and willingness to laugh along and play with us. We truly have a wonderful community there, and hope you all continue to foster and grow it for years to come. We certainly would love to work with you all again sometime down the line, so please reach out should that time come. Thanks.
Thank you. So I think that was a hit. And I think, Bailey's been working with the Shakespeareans idea and thought that would be our next.
Yeah, and so they're looking to do 2 programs. One is an improvisational workshop for teens. And the other one is a mythology workshop for grades 2 to 5. And they're looking to do it, any of the dates, Tuesday, September 22nd through Saturday, October 10th. Depending on the time, and I asked her to talk to Lisa about dates because,
Okay, she's off this week, that's why I didn't see.
yeah, so I'm just waiting for that.
Okay.
Each one of the programs is $300 each. Do we have to vote on that, or what's the story?
Yeah, if we think we wanna
Okay.
go forward, so this is what Bailey thinks would be appropriate for.
Those two programs, I had originally said if she wanted to do more, because they're pretty cheap. To do that, but this is what they get, so, and I thought they were looking at one other thing, but she didn't indicate that on the email, so. I don't know if you wanna set a, this is what, 600? Let's say,
You think there'd be a third potentially be added in?
there could be a third,
Maybe we go with a not to exceed of 1,000 at this point?
Yeah.
You think that would be adequate?
And I think, again, one of our issues with this would be timing with the programs that are run already, trying to fit that.
Right, because
third
one of-
program in.
What if she's mentioned Saturday, October 10th, but they wrote back saying that
That's a long weekend.
that's a difficult day because of, they do certain things on the weekends, they're like, they have run classes. And so, that's one of the days, so they couldn't do it then, but it'd have to be before October 10th. If they wanted a Saturday.
All right, so
So-
these funds come from the restricted Hanel account. So, we would use it for cultural event, that's what these events would be, so it qualifies for that. Do you wanna put a motion out for?
I have to put a motion. To set, $1,000 for a Shakespearean's programming workshops
Up to
for
three,
fall,
yeah, up to three.
up to 3.
A second?
Second.
Colleen seconds, Dave seconds, we got 2 seconds.
You can choose.
That's all right. Yeah, that's what I keep saying, secretary's choice. Any questions?
Is that a not to exceed or is it 1,000?
I didn't make
No.
a motion.
I'm just making notes to myself, that's all.
Yeah, I guess I would say not to exceed,
Yeah.
cause that's up to 3 programs, right? And if it comes back that it's different, that we've got some great program in time, we
Yeah.
can just revisit it, but at this point, we
Right,
could lock it in.
That'll get your contract set.
Yeah. Any other questions? Thoughts? Any question on that? No?
Do we have to vote?
We're in the process of the vote,
Okay.
so I was just seeing if there were any
Oh.
questions. Okay, all those in favor of, assigning a not to exceed amount of $1,000 for, Shakespearean's Hanel events, to 3 Hanel events, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. For those that are at the meeting, except for George. Thank you for keeping this moving forward. Appreciate that, working with Bailey and staff. All right, that's good. Next, on the agenda are Newington AFCAMs. Had no report. No report, good, okay. So moving on, open board positions, we do still have 2 corporate board positions that are open. If you know of anybody else who's interested in joining the board, let us know. Entice them to join us. New business, there you go. We have the dining partner packet deliveries. If that's right behind you. For those of you that were at the race, this is what Michelle was talking about. So our dining partners that, yeah, you can bring it on, Chris. Yeah, so there's a bunch of letters in here, thank you notes and stuff like that, and what we need are a couple of volunteers to go out and about and deliver those thank you letters. We were talking about how it's kind of grouped, so you're not going to this part and this part and this part of the town. It's like if you've got 3 or 4 places, you know, here, whatever, we'll go through and do that. I think, there's a couple of folks that we would be looking to have sign up for the dining partners again for 2026. We're gonna craft, we like this, like how I look at somebody else and say, we are gonna craft a letter. That helps explain so that you can just drop off the letter. The folks that, we're looking to have sign up again are highlighted here. So Michelle pulled all of that together.
Are, just so we're not, we're doing things twice. The ones that need this additional letter, we should probably yank out of that box so they're not full tonight. So they all go at once rather than 2 trips, right?
Yeah, that's fine, that would be fine, it just, you'd be going all over, but as long as someone's.
Well, I'm just saying is rather than 2 trips to the same place is all.
When you say all over, it's just no.
It could be, it could be.
It could be Elaine's, it could be.
Oh, no.
It could be New Britain,
It could be New Britain too.
but it's usually right on the town line.
It's like Alveria,
Not going forward,
Alveria, the
not going
brewing
to-
company is
not
over
first.
on John Downey Drive. That's technically New Britain.
So there's 12 of the 14. I think we're 4. Yeah, 14. So there's 14 of the, I think there's like 40 that need to, they would get an additional letter that just would be requesting whether they'd like to renew it. And if they want to, they have to give us 2 gift cards. So Michelle has she has it organized by area on the thing. And then the pink marks are the businesses that need to renew.
Okay, so what's the best process forward? Did we pull those names from here? Do we wait?
Do we wait till those letters can be integrated?
Well, we can get the letters done by tomorrow. If people want to pick them up over the next.
What if we mailed on 14? Like, do those regular, but the special ones that were.
Because you're more apt to get something from somebody if you.
If you asked in
Yeah.
person,
We go
especially
with
because
puppy eyes.
especially because you're asking for some gift cards for the race.
So for those 14,
Mhm.
we want to talk to somebody and say, there's a letter in here that says. we
Yeah,
want you
they're
to sign
here,
up
so we
again
might,
next year.
are those sealed?
Yeah.
Okay, so we would probably give you a letter in addition to the envelope. That you would just, this is a thank you envelope. And then.
You're gonna give us
here's a
more
letter
money.
from the side.
It's got the thing, the letter in it.
And are we expecting to get those gift cards that day?
No, just a request if they'd like to, and we can always go back and pick them up,
Okay.
or if they wanna
It
give them.
seems to me, you, a little time in between would be good. You're already giving up something, why not wait 2 or 3 months and then?
Well, I think because the people here, haven't renewed
Oh.
in a year,
Okay.
so, it's however you wanna do it, because. It's just that Michelle can't do it, you know, she just does
Right,
not have.
she doesn't have the
bandwidth,
bandwidth.
and she's the one that kinda did it last year, It would just be helpful if we could get somebody to give them the letter requesting for them to join again.
So we come back tomorrow and pick up the whole package.
Yeah, maybe by Wednesday, and we'll have it all set for you. We can always print off new envelopes with everything inside, or,
You
yeah.
know, if you attach that separate
Yeah.
letter to it, they're gonna see that first.
Yeah, maybe do this and have the separate letter on top for those folks.
Maybe just give us till Wednesday so we can actually.
Are the flyers in there?
So inside you have the footnotes, you have, I think it's the race.
The thank you letter, the race, thing, yes.
Is it the poster?
Can we open one? What are one of these pink things? Well. we'll just
Just in
open
the
them.
past, we always just, we brought the flyer
And we
put it up
tacked
on
up, yeah.
the window.
I always supposed to put it up.
This is a thank you, so it has a dining partner for them,
Yeah.
it has a footnotes, and it has the thank you letter, so it's just 3 things.
So it's not the poster.
There's no
Thank
poster.
you, it's not,
No, we're not doing the poster because.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood. I thought the poster was part of it.
No, because I don't think they did it last year, and this is just to thank them for participating, just acknowledging it, here's your own dining partner. Here's and also the newsletter shows on the back that we acknowledge them, that's the the purpose of the
Yeah,
newsletter, to show that we are acknowledging the business.
Cause I know when I went, I think I would point out, I didn't have it in an envelope, so I had like the flyer, I would bring tape with me and tape up to the
Yes.
window, ask them if it was okay, and then
That
I
was
think the
another-
newsletter, I would flip it over and just say, by the way, here's your name.
Yeah, I mean, that's, the newsletter is just to show that I think every newsletter we acknowledge the dining partner people or businesses.
No, I guess I was under the assumption we were putting posters up.
Okay, so what are we ready to do now? Are we looking for volunteers to?
If we know who's gonna do it, we'll we'll have all of we can organize it by area for you, so you're not going all over town, you just go to a certain area. And we'll put them all in the same envelope for you with the letters, if there's a business that needs to sign up again.
I can take half a dozen of them.
Yeah, I'll take some too.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Deanne.
So Pauline, Jason.
Okay.
Yes, we get these names down.
Jason, Dave,
How many of them are there?
40?
How many?
40?
yeah, so they'd be like, if we had 5 people do it, that would be 5 homes.
Okay, so I have Deanne, Jason, Dave Morgan, Pauline.
did they need to be joined?
Just within, maybe in the next week and a half, it doesn't have to be done this week, for sure. But, if
If they're all in the same area, I usually get them done within 2 days.
we have Pauline?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 5 people.
So who do you have?
We have Jason, Dave H, Leanne, Jason, I have Jason's twice. I'm sorry, Jason.
I get 2 stacks.
Joanne was the other person. And what we'll do, as soon as we have it done, we'll email you, so you know it's done, and we'll leave it at the serve desk in an envelope for you. Okay, that's the plan.
Okay,
Thank
Good.
you very
Thank you.
much. And we'll have a copy of this
thank you
for
to
you.
the delivery folks.
It's all right. I found I ended up with a lot of restaurants, so I was treating myself to shakes and things like that.
Whatever it takes, as it goes through that. Okay, thank you. So then, I'm looking for public participation. Is there anybody online? Nobody online. And nobody in the room. So at this time, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Pick one.
So Dave Nagel, then, second, Christine? Well, any questions? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone, for your time tonight and volunteering to do some of these,
Just want to make a copy.
deliverance and stuff. I appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah, then,
Push them, okay, tomorrow.